get on stage, and you think your job is just to get on stage, give a motivational speech, and that's your way of contributing. So what's the vision? Tell me. And he goes, well, you know, da. I said, I want you to look at me in my eyes, because I want to see when I'm talking to you. He's 10 years older than me. And he said, well, the sun is in my eyes. And I keep in mind, everybody's sitting around the pool. We're in Hawaii on a trip. I said, let's switch seats. So we switch seats. I said, I want to look at you, because I'm going to make a decision, because I'm going on a run. I love this business. What's the vision? Is that you know, everybody, you know how you go to church, bless you, and you know how you saw all the lines when you go to church, you go, brother, God bless you. God bless. God so loved the what you know. So you know this gibberish stuff, language that we can all speak. Well, our vision is to do this, that. A guy like me is going to read through your bullshit. A guy like George is going to read through my bullshit if I cast a bullshit vision. Because he grew up with, you know, street people. So he's accustomed to looking at street people and saying, my dad taught me poker. You're full of shit. We're not going to do that. And I said, here's what we're going to be doing. He sat in meetings. A guy came and said, why would you do something like this? You're going to put this guy, you're going to make him file bankruptcy. They're going to go out of business. You realize how many people's lives are hurting? You have no idea what I was going to do to this guy in front of me. I said, what did you say? His girlfriend was sitting next to him. I said, listen, for the rest of your life, you're going to remind him of what happened to the rest of your life. You're going to say he's going to eat his words for the rest of your life. Get out of my office. Get out right now. You say something like this in front of my guy. Get out. All of these things in the first 2 weeks of starting PHP. And I'm out there saying, Pat, you sure we're going to build a company that's going to have 500,000 license, 6,000 MPs? Yes, that's the vision. You sure we're going to put people in lives? Yes, it is. Save America by bringing back the free enterprise system and hope to American families. We're not going to stop. And then all of a sudden, boom, he believes. Boom, he believes. Boom, he believes. Boom, he believes. Boom, then people are like, we're actually going to be doing this. Now they started having that confident about this thing's going to become a reality. But what are you going to do if your next guy is going to look at you and ask you what your vision is, and they know you're full of shit? Then what are you going to do? And that person knows they're going to run for 20 years. You don't think that people like that are out there? Do you want to keep those people or not keep those people? If you want to keep them, they're going to ask you what your vision is. And in this business, there's a couple different things that will happen. There's going to be guys that get into override mode, which is fine. That when you get into override mode. But if you're in override mode and you don't have a vision, there's a difference between loving your parents and your upline and respecting them as a leader. If your parents made $18 an hour and they were a regular mother or father, never did anything big, and you end up becoming financially free, millionaire, decamillionaire, whatever it is, they're your mother. You're going to love them forever. You're going to protect them forever. Nobody can say anything about your mother, but they're not necessarily your leaders. They raised you and did their best, but they made some excuses at the time. You then are going to seek leadership. You're going to seek it. This is your biggest threat of what I'm telling you right now. And if you think I'm joking with you, I'm going to be around and I'm going to say, I told you so. I told you so. Look what America's going through today. We can't even sell marriage in America today. I'm sitting with Bill Maher. He says, I hate kids. And he says, how about you? I said, I love kids. What else is the point of your life if you don't try to have kids? Oh, give me a break. And we get into it. Well, what do you think is the purpose of life? What do you think? What else are you doing? Making all this money for what? You either love your country, you either love God, you're either doing it because you're trying to continue your legacy, develop the right speed, and then if maybe you're not going to be gifted with a child, you find different ways to contribute, but legacy's in our blood. Why can't we sell it? Why can't we sell America today? Nobody can sell America today. People don't know how to sell America. How do you not know how to sell America? Well, America's the worst country because look at the stuff that America did. Blah, 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 blah. Really? Really? So full of shit. Tweeting on a freaking iPhone out of China telling me America's a piece of shit country? You're using a phone that was invented in America. How dare you talk smack about America? You're lucky you got that phone right there that you copied in China based on the technology that Steve Jobs and Wozniak created. And Elon Musk, born in Cuba, raised in Cuba, nobody would ever know about it. Don't tell me how great this country America is. I don't like that kind of stuff. Right? So for us, you don't have to sell America. Why not? Why can't you sell it? I can sell America. You can sell America. Sell the damn vision. And by the way, people will know if you're full of shit. They'll know it. I walk with Dylan, and I tell him, Dilly, you know that Dave's the most powerful last name in the world. I know that. Let me tell you what he did. A year and a half ago, a year ago. And then he stops, he looks at me, he's looking at me like this. He said, Dad, but is it really? I said, absolutely it is. And he looks at me for 5 seconds. This freaking guy, you're testing me, huh? No, go ahead, look at me, right? I said, it's the most powerful lesson in the world. Dad, how do you know that? I said, all it matters that I believe it 100%.
That's it.
I said, do you believe it? He looks at me, 5 second pause. I 100% believe it. Now let's roll. Got back to walking. We talk about nothing else anymore. I'm selling this kid a vision. We're not fooling around. You think this kid's gonna see daddy fooling around saying, but it's the most important thing. He's gonna go, my dad's at a hunt. I got all this stuff going on at 9:30. I'm picking him up at soccer practice. I'm kicking with Ferragamo shoes from the corner. Every night. I gotta go pick him up. Go, let's go. And I'm going with suits. So I'm kicking with Ferragamo shoes, with Stefano Ricci shoes. And I'm kicking him with them. Hey, Dad, can you kick the corner? No problem. Billy, I'm better off throwing the ball. I'm telling you, these shoes suck. Daddy, just throw it. Just throw it. Just throw it. I'm sweating. So they're like, look at this guy in the middle of the street trying to show off that he's got a suit. No, these are moments. I'm with you, buddy. I got your back. You in? I got you. What do you want to do? Let's roll with it. But if you fool around with me and you tell me you're not real about your vision, you don't have, I love you forever. But don't tell me you're serious and you're clowning around. No, I'm not doing that. Great. And you got my back. I got your back. Well, let's go. So what are you going to do when that conversation comes up? So then you could say something like this. Well, listen, for me, it was all about the money. And let me tell you, when Pat stopped talking about the $500,000 license figures, I just knew the vision wasn't real. You're supposed to take the flag over. You're supposed to be the damn flag carrier, not because you start talking about $500,000 licenses and put it on me. What kind of leader talks like that? What kind of leader talks? Did I raise you that way? I didn't raise you that way. I've never raised you that way. Ever. I've never once raised you that way. Till today. Do you know everybody's talking about associate count? You know we hit 99 this week. We have 99 full-time employees right now. 99. First time ever in the history of the company, we onboarded 11 employees this week. You know how hard it is to have 99 employees? I have to pay salary. There's a difference between 1099 and W-2. I'm paying everybody a salary. I'm running a podcast. I got 4 kids. I got my wife. I got my dad. I got my family. I'm trying to make sure I have a good relationship with my niece and my nephew. I love those guys. I got my mother. I got my podcast. I got you guys that I absolutely love, like you will never know. I got America that I think God is using us in a certain way, that I feel like I got responsibilities for a man upstairs that's giving me this ridiculous. Are you kidding me? You give me this life? What the hell am I to give you this life? Me? You're going to give me this kind of life? For the rest of my life, I owe it to you. What do you want? I'm yours. 40 years I'm going. You're the only person that can fire me. That's the level of commitment. So what am I going to do? Oh, Pat, stop. You got FU money and we don't. Really? You think I'm sitting on my ass while you're sitting on your ass? I'm not sitting on my ass. I'm setting you the example to you for you to realize this was never about money for me. I told you, July 16th, saving America by bringing back the free enterprise system and hope to American families. I've said it thousands of times till today. And now I just say to the basis, and you read about it, you see about it. You think we have enemies right now? I had a conversation with our guys there. I said, you think we have enemies? I said, you guys ready for the enemies we're about to have? You know what kind of enemies we're about? You guys don't even know what stuff is going on. I'm not here publicizing. You got your own problems to be dealing with. You don't think we have enemies right now. But you know what I sit there and think about? I go, if you only knew, do you think you're going to scare me? Do you think you're going to scare me? Do you know who's got my back? The most powerful gangster of all time's got my back, bro. You think I'm worried about you? And hey, let me tell you, be careful with this, be careful with that. You better be careful with that guy. That's what you're not careful with. I'm careful with him. I want to make sure I keep gratitude, I keep respect, I keep all that other stuff. Why am I saying this to you? Everything starts with a vision. Everything. You showing up late, you cancel appointments, you don't have a vision. It's about money. You're blaming everybody else, you don't have a vision. Well, you should go do it yourself. You don't have a vision. Eventually, your guys are going to be like, man, love the guy, but there's no more vision. And that's a massive, massive risk. By the way, if some of you guys are doing this, let me tell you what you're doing right now. And I think you're going to be wrong. You know what you're doing right now? I know what he's talking about. You know what I'm talking about? You. But by the way, to all the church people, honey, he's talking about you. I'm talking about you. I'm talking to anybody that internally personalizes that says, shit, this fits. This is a little bit of me. By the way, it's also something I'm always worried about. And you got all this stuff. Was it really about a vision or just the money? Look at your house, look at your cars, look at this, look at that. What are you doing now? No. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. Because never forget when we were in tears crying, when nothing was going right, begging God for grace and another chance, and He gave it to us. And we forget about it. I can't do that. And by the way, if you got recruited to this company while I'm the CEO running the company, you also can't do that. But that's something you're going to fight with. Let me give you another story here. I'm on a flight with Jack Lender and his wife. This is a completely different story you guys got to hear. Can you give me my time? I don't want to go over time because he's calling now. Calling him in? Okay. I'm on a flight. It's the first time I've ever been on a private jet. I don't know how old I am, but I'm on a private jet. And I'm with Jack Lender. And Jack Lender and his wife, they're sitting there and they're saying, well, you know, Jack was like the least of everybody that made the money. But I like Jack. So Linda says, let me tell you what happened with Jack. Hubert was already gone, and he was golfing 7 days a week. And one of the things that upset me is who Hubert liked Jack the most. And while everybody else was building their businesses, the best golfer was Jack. So Hubert would always want to golf with Jack. But that stretch of 3-4 years when Hubert was golfing with Jack, we were laughed by everybody. So like, how do I process this message? You know what I'm saying? How do you process this? But he's spending time with the young one, like, what do you mean? Like, isn't that the right thing to do? Okay, maybe Hubert's vision's already become a reality, and he's financially free. He's like, let's spend time and do this. But yours hasn't become a reality. In those 3 years that you didn't go on a run, probably could have cost me $70 million, $80 million. Some of you guys are going to have someone as an outline that's done, and they're just going to want to have friends because they're like, what are you doing tonight? I'm running opponents. Why don't you just come over? And you're like, okay, let's watch the game. All right, I'll come over. Well, you canceled 3 appointments to go over. Hey, what are you doing? So let's just go do this. Okay, because those guys are retired. So now they dictate your vision. You can never do that to me. So I sat there, I'm like, wow. Interesting. Okay, boom, that's going to stay here. This was 27 years old, 26 years old, 18 years ago, whatever the timeline is. 17 years ago. Don't get it twisted that upline means leader. An upline that's paying, hungry, growing, driving, building, all that stuff. Our job is to lead and set the example that we're going places and challenge them. There's different ways we can contribute at different levels of the game. But you can't compromise the vision. And sometimes someone may be like, well, I'm already making plenty of money on override, but man, I really like your company, let's hang out together all the time. That's going to hurt you long because you're not financially free yet. So, I can say, hey, we're going to XYZ, come spend time with us. It's $100,000 a trip. You can't afford $100,000. I'm not going to take you away. You're on the appointment. You do your thing. Sunday, hey, Paulette, Pat, I got 2 appointments. I can easily cancel it. Let me just spend time. No, go run the appointment. I'll never tell you to cancel appointments. Why would I do that to you? I'll never tell you to step away from building a game. Why would I do that? Who am I to do that to you? No, go do your thing. Respect. Go run it. Never, because I never liked it when people did that to me. By the way, that story I just told right now, it's only for 7 of you. The rest of you are like, what the hell was the purpose of that story? Don't worry about it. But 7 of you that heard it, trust me, you know exactly what the purpose of that story is. Let me go to the next one here. Here's another one. We're at a table. I'm in Diamond Bar. My best friend in the world just died, Armin. And I find out on the way there with another guy named Jim Pedrick. I was driving the car, and Jim Pedrick died, 12 years ago, 11 years ago at his funeral. Jim Pedrick was my roommate all the time. I love Jim Pedrick. So I'm at Diamond Bar. We're sitting at 2 tables. I'm sitting with my upline and the MD. And then right over here is the main guy in the company sitting here. And he says, hey, why don't you come sit at our table? My outline here made a comment, identity comment, a little bit of guilt. Hey, you're gonna leave us to go sit over there. I'm sitting right there like, is this being this morning? Am I not? Because I learned a lot from you when I was in the big shop. You taught me so much with the business, but no one at this table is anyone I want to compete with. And it was such an interesting dynamic because I had to process the guilt. Sometimes moms do this to their sons, right? When they want to go get married and build a family, moms put that guilt into sons. Some of you guys are Hispanic, you may know that. And I'm like, yeah, no, listen, I love it. None of you guys are out recruiting me, I'm listening over here. And I sat over here the entire time. You know how you feel raised? Like, you know how my eyes are red right now? I'm like that guy from, what is it, Avengers or the X-Men? That the guy's got those eyes that up places up. What is his name? I feel like the freaking rays on the back. Like, I'm sorry, I feel like I belong at the next level. And if you feel wanting to get in the ring and compete with these guys, I don't. Tomorrow, right after this, I gotta go to Chicago. Tomorrow, we're invited to a meeting with 60 families. Jen's gonna meet me there tomorrow. Goldman Sachs. Minimum net worth to be at this meeting is $1 billion. I'm the poorest person in the meeting. I'm serious. I'm the poorest person in the meeting, and the entire thing is about family planning and legacy planning and all this stuff. So I look at all the last names: billion, 2 billion, 3 billion, 4 billion, 12 billion, whatever. These are families that are there. So, what am I supposed to do? No, I got a dream. This enemy is not playing around. We're not going to take this enemy out. This enemy is giving money for kids to go protest in schools and confuse the hell out of everybody. They're just waiting for one protester to kill a kid so they can use that as the next George Floyd and divide America, to confuse the election again. That's what they're trying to do, just so you know it's about to happen. So everybody knows. They're trying to pin all of us against each other. It's about to happen. So, but I'm constantly like, what's the next place to go to? What is the next person for me to feel like I'm small? I gotta go. It's like, well, you can be in a warm, fuzzy place and you're the cool guy amongst all these other guys and you don't want to go straight. So maybe your upline, says some things about 2 other sidelines that actually would be very good for you, but now you hate those sidelines because you got an SEL issue and you don't like them, but you need them. But because there's deeper rooted stuff with your upline, now you have bad relationships with those people. Don't fall for that trap. My mom's done that. Family does that. Doesn't mean you don't love them. Sometimes family goes through that kind of stuff. Again, some of you guys are watching saying, what the f-? Just said, right, hush, it was deep. Okay? That wasn't even for 7 people. That was for 5 people. I'm telling you right now, you want me to give you more crazy stories? Let me get to the next one here. Don't raise your hands. When I ask you a question, I'm going to say it again. Don't raise your hand. When I ask the question, one more time, don't raise your hand. How many guys took the vaccine during COVID? Okay, I have to say it 3 times. Nobody raise their hand. Don't raise your hand. This is a private question that you can ask. How many guys took the vaccine? How many guys didn't take the vaccine? Don't raise your hand. Some of you guys didn't take the vaccine. Some of you guys took the vaccine. Guess what? It's your decision. We sat down with my dad, and my dad said he wants to take it. I said, would you be open to me giving you an opposing argument? Sure. I'm still taking it. Take it. Never judge it. Bless you. Took the first one, took the booster, took every booster. Nanny, same thing. Took the first Johnson & Johnson, took the second Johnson & Johnson, took all the boosters. And by the way, if they're giving away boosters, she'd go take them again. Okay? Still love it. I feel like sometimes I just invite Ricky back to be there for a week. Like, just live with us for 1 week and just shave everybody up and do everything that you do. Ricky loves the beach in Bakersfield, but that's a different story. So, then one day, I get a weird board meeting that I get into. Some of you guys will remember this. I go into this meeting and they're like, look, after the event, some of you guys, and when, I'm not going to name names, but guys, when COVID came, some of you guys felt like that thing's going to run after you. Some of you guys were putting masks here, masks here. It's exactly come after you, dog. It's okay. No, it's coming. Throw stuff like contagion. These stereotypes. These are movies. No, it's gonna kill us. All right, cool. Do your thing. No problem.
Do your thing.
Okay. And we're at the office, like, doing a whole different story, but so bored. What? You're being an irresponsible CEO by not getting all your leaders vaccinated. I said, really? Yeah. I said, do you know what our company's vision was? What? Saving America by bringing back the free enterprise for the most American families. This is based on freedom. We talk, just so you know, my sales meetings, we talk openly about open issues. We don't get shy around talking about issues. You guys, the other day, where's the hands raised? We're having dinner. What kind of conversations did we have? Can we say it was pretty direct? You were at the table, right? Yes or no? We had the best conversation. Now, Tori did throw the table and flipped it and walk out, but it was great. It was still safe, right? When she did that, she was still respectful about it. She knows it's there. But, so I hold on, like, listen, I'm not getting my guys vaccinated. It says, we are willing to set aside a budget of a couple $100,000 to get a nurse to go every single office of PHU to get everybody vaccinated, and and I think that's a statement to be making in the marketplace. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. Okay? But here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna make a video and I'm gonna send it out. And I'm gonna tell everybody, because some people were judging the people that were taking the vaccine. I also don't like that. And some people were judging those that were not taking the vaccine. I also don't like that. So I made a video. I said, listen guys, we just talked to you guys about what's going on here with vaccines. This is where we stand. My dad got it. My nanny got it. I didn't take it. Jen didn't take it. But I'm not in the business of judging you. Talk to your doctor. Talk to your nurse. Make a decision with your family. If it's something you want to do, you do. You don't need to tell me about it. But let's please not judge anybody, whether they get vaccinated or not vaccinated. It's their personal choice. It's not my choice. And I sent it out. You should see people call me, that's exactly what I needed, and I was feeling judged, no problem. Let me give you guys an uncomfortable message, you guys. Let me give you guys an uncomfortable, this doesn't sit well with me, but I just kind of have to do this. This is going to be the most uncomfortable one, then we're going to do backflips, single lunch, kumbaya stuff, we'll be all right, but just bring it. So, I've lived in LA, extremely vain city, vain as in what everybody wants to look good. I've lived in Dallas, super vain.
Hi, I'm Siri.
And I've lived in Florida. I don't know if you guys been to Miami. It's like everything shows from everywhere. Like Miami is like everyone's doing billions of surgeries. I didn't even know how these surgeries existed, but in Miami, they're trying to get rid of you. Okay, but so if a person is saying, hey guys, let's run a contest for surgeries. And let's do this one and that one, or Ozempic and this and that. If my wife came to me and said she was on a conference call doing that, and I heard about it, I'm going to be very upset. Because that's our decision. Me and my wife. You want to get a boob job? Get it. You don't want to get it? Don't get it. You want to do TRT? Do it. You don't want to do it? Don't do it. You want to go to Turkey and get a hair or whatever, what is it? What is it called? The implant? What is it, $25,000? It's the best place, by the way. Do it. You don't want to do it? I don't care. You want to go do these things that you put here? Do it. You don't want to do it? Don't do it. But here's what I don't want to happen. I don't want people, and I know people are texting each other right now, like he's talking about this. I don't want to. We kind of prepared for this. This is all I ask of you. It's the same thing as vaccines. Don't put the kind of pressure that I have to go to XYZ to look good. When Jen and I got married, I'm like, listen, babe, I love you. This is what I like. I'm not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of you going to the spa every freaking day when we're billionaires or millionaires or whatever it is. I'm not a fan of you going and hanging out with a tennis coach at the guys. That's not going to happen. The tennis coach is going to be this person. The spa's this person. That person's this person. This is it. I'm going to have a problem. Okay? And I said, but you're also not going to get pressured by me. If you want to do something, we make a decision collectively. Great. Okay? That's what we do. By the way, if it makes your husband happy, that's all that matters. If it makes your wife happy, that's all that matters. The only request I have of you is if we start making money, do not put the pressure on other people. Not everybody handles it the same way you do. Some want to do it, great. Some don't want to do it, great. I don't like that at all. And some of you guys that are saying, well, what's wrong? It's driving a lot of our girls in our organization. Fine. It probably is, because you're attracting people like yourself. But you know who's one of my favorite people when we have conversations during dinner? Is Haz and Nabi. They're Muslims. You know, my chef that lives in our house, that's incredible to our kids, is a Muslim Turk. I'm Armenian. Turkish people killed Armenian genocide. They killed 1.5 million Armenians, 250,000 Assyrians on both. It's in the history books. Validated by 65 different countries. I love the guy. I can say I love our chef. In our house, my kids love him. I want to create an environment that you're comfortable being with me, whether you're black, white, Asian, Hispanic, I don't care what you are. I don't care if you're straight, I don't care if you're gay, I don't care what you are. You're going to feel comfortable with me. I'm still going to give my opinions. I'm not going to be walking on eggshells around you, but I want to be respectful about it, and I want to show you love. And I want to make sure that that continues. Where this doesn't get loose. You had a massive falling out because everybody started doing so many different things and had so many different problems. And it happened with their baby. I don't want it to happen here. That was the most uncomfortable message I was going to give to you guys. I've always said from day one, if you're one of my guys' wife, you're my sister, you're permanently protected. If I hear anybody do anything to one of the wives that works directly with me, you have a problem with me. I don't like that. Vice versa. If that's someone's husband, stay the hell away from them. With the single rules that we have. In this business, we're going to be looking for those two things. I've always been overly paranoid. By the way, I'm the richest I've ever been. I'm the most famous I've ever been. And the quality of my DMs just get better. Some of these DMs I get, I'm like, man, I've been away way too long. You guys do this kind of stuff nowadays? That's pretty wild. Okay, cool. Good for you, right? Shoot. Something high-end technology, David, recently, like I passed out. We got laughed. I'm telling you, Boris, one of these days, she like make a, what do you call it, Instagram a book, and she make like a highlight book. All I'm saying to you is, never lose the values and principles where I have to be a certain way to belong in your hierarchy. Okay? Allow me to respect your values.